Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Now, our practice today will be strength and mobility for the quads, the hip flexors, and the glutes. Now, if that sounds good to you, go ahead and roll out your mat. Hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Now we'll begin with some happy elephants. Heel toeing our feet out wider than our hips. We'll extend the arms out nice and wide as well. Wiggle the fingertips. We'll twist open in one direction, coming through center and twisting open in the other. We'll sway side to side. Let the arms move of their own free will. The quicker you find your swings, the more you'll feel it in your back. But you can also move slower through your happy elephants if that's feeling good instead. Just starting to warm up the body. And we'll let the arms run out of momentum, coming to rest by our sides. We'll move our weight into our left foot so we can pick up our right. Now we can bring hands to heart center, we can take them out to our side, we can even reach for a wall as we're going to do a little bit of balance. But we'll start with some forward and back leg kicks. Now we're trying to move the leg straight forward, straight back. We're not twisting open the hip when we pull back. We're keeping the hips forward and pressing back through the heels. So we're starting to maybe feel that gluteus maximus as we draw the leg back. Now, as we draw back now, we'll bend at the knee and we'll kick the leg forward. So we're squeezing the heel up towards the glute and then kicking through. Now, the next time our foot is out in front, we'll bend at the knee. Lift the knee up nice and tall towards the ceiling. We'll hold it here for a little bit. You may already be feeling your glutes, your hip flexors. That's great. Lift it up a little bit higher. And then we'll set it down. Now wiggle out, reset, move around. And then we'll do the other side. Moving our weight into our right foot so we can pick up our left. We'll find those forward and back kicks again. Trying to keep the toes pointed forward the whole time. Now, as we draw back, we'll bend at the knee, pull the heel up towards the body, and give a kick forward. And again, the next time our foot is out in front, we'll bend at the knee, lift the knee up nice and tall. Then we'll set the knee down, set the foot down, wiggle out some more. Making our way to our mountain pose. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears, move them back and down the spine. We'll do that 2 more times. Squish the ears and the shoulders together. Draw the shoulders back and down. Good. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, lift tall through the top of the head. We can close the eyes and take a few deep breaths here as we press into our toes. And with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead. With our exhale, we'll sweep them out to our sides as we bow from the chest and forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. We're squeezing the glutes. We're drawing the kneecaps up, so we're finding engagement across the quads, lengthening out from the top of the head. We're pressing into the toes. And with our next exhale, we'll fold forward again. Now I'll take a little bit of time here to soften into this pose, to find some movement in any way that feels right. You can pedal out the legs. You can find a swivel to the upper body. We can shake out the hips. Whatever's feeling good. Now with our next in-breath, we'll move back to that halfway lift. Engaging, drawing the belly button in and up. Exhale to fold. We'll drop the fingertips down and we'll heel toe the feet out once or twice. Heels are in towards center slightly. The toes are turned away. We'll bend at the knees. And we'll squat down the hips into our yogi squat, our malasana squat. Now this is the first one of our practice, so if your heels are not quite down, that is okay. If you're not quite very deep in this squat either, that's okay. We're just starting to warm up the body. We can drop the hands down in front. And we'll find a little bit of a side-to-side movement by drawing one knee forward, opening the opposite hip. Coming through center, squatting down. And then we'll twist open in the other direction. Just finding a little bit of movement here. Now we'll drop the hands down in front of the body, shift a little further forward so we can press into the hands to help us lengthen the legs long again. And we'll heel toe the feet back in line with the hips. With our inhale, we'll find that halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Go ahead and nod the head yes. Shake the head no. You can do the same thing with the arms, letting them sway and be heavy towards the earth. We'll add a little more of a bend to the knees. We'll start to tuck the pelvis forward as we roll our way towards standing. Really take your time. Moving your way up the spine. Your chin will be the very last thing to lift. And then we can find some shoulder rolls or some shrugs at the top. Move around in a way that feels good. And then we'll make our way to the top of our mat. With a big breath in, we'll circle the arms up overhead. Exhale to sweep them back out and around. We'll hinge from the waist, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engaging through the body, squeezing the glutes. Exhale to fold. Drop the hands down. We'll step up or float our feet back to our plank pose. And grip the earth with the fingertips. We'll shift further forward. Exhale to a chaturanga, to our up dog or our cobra. We'll engage the core, squeeze the belly in and up as we send the hips up to help protect our low back in that transition. We'll pedal out the legs, swivel out the hips. And then we'll send our left leg up and back behind. We'll draw that knee forward, bringing it towards our nose, rounding through the spine. As we step our left foot through, we'll bring a full breath in. And an even larger breath back out as we drop our right knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale to sit up, reach the arms to the sky. Now we will be spending quite a bit of time on one knee. So if it is already starting to talk to you, you may want to double up your mat or grab some props. I forgot to grab props, but later in our practice, it might be helpful to have some blocks. So feel free to pause the video now if you'd like to grab those assists. And we'll start to press the hips forward. Reach the arms up in our low lunge. Now pressing into our left foot, we'll lengthen out through the left leg, send the hips back behind, and we'll start to bow the chest forward, softening the chest towards that left leg or towards our knee. Shifting forward again, keeping the hands low. We'll press our right hand into the earth beside our left foot as we start to bend at the right knee. Pick the toes up towards the sky. Now we can stay here, drawing our right heel in towards the body and using the hands to hold us steady. Or we can reach back with our left hand, grab for the top of the foot or the ankle, draw the shoulder open towards our side so the chest moves over towards the left side of our mat. And we can find that slight bind here. And we'll gently pull the foot in closer towards the body. Now we'll gently press the foot back into the hand, maybe sending the hips a little further forward, opening more across the front of the shoulder. Good, we'll slowly let go of our right foot, let it drop down to the earth. Press into our left leg so we can lengthen long into our half splits again. With an inhale, we'll lengthen through the spine. And with our exhale, we'll soften further, bringing the chest a little closer towards our leg. Now again, staying low as we shift forward back to our low lunge. We'll plant the right hand down again beside our left foot. With an inhale, we'll reach our left hand up towards the sky for a gentle twist. And then we'll bring that left hand down and around to the inside of our left leg. Moving to our lizard pose from here, so we can press the hips forward if this is comfortable. Or we can walk that left foot further out towards the outer edge of our mat, keeping the bottom of the foot down to the earth. Or we can roll onto the pinky side edge of our left foot. Press the knee away from the body, either with our leg itself or with our left hand. And we'll take a little bit of time here. Press the hips forward. We're trying to keep the spine long. So sending the eyes up. Good. Now pivoting the leg in, so the bottom of our left foot is down and stable to the earth. We'll pick up our right foot, lift the right knee off the mat. We'll find a little forward and back rocking motion to give us the momentum to pick up our right leg. We'll bring it in. Set it down towards the outer edge of our mat, heels in together, toes to point away. Drop the hips down and find your malasana squat at the top of your mat. Maybe now you can use your elbows to press the knees away. Maybe now you can get your heels a little closer to the floor. We can continue to find that rocking side to side motion that we did before. Or we can stay still in this pose and gently press the elbows into the knees. And then we'll drop the hands down in front of the body. Send the hips up towards the sky. Heel toe the feet back underneath of the hips. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. We'll reach the arms out to the sides. Lift them up towards the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Drop the hands down. We'll step, hop, or float the feet back. Plank pose. Fingers are out wide, gripping the earth. We'll shift a little further forward. Exhale to our chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Engage through the core. Draw the abdomen in and up as we send the hips towards the sky. Wiggle and pedal out here. And then we'll send our right leg up and back. Bend the knee, draw it in towards the chest as we start to shift forward. Step the right foot through. Full breath in. And an even larger breath back out as we drop our left knee down, untuck the toes. Inhale to sit up tall. We'll reach the arms to the sky as we shift forward into our low lunge. Now pressing into that right foot, lengthen the leg towards straight. Press the hips back behind as we hinge forward to our half splits, softening the chest towards our front leg. We'll stay low as we shift forward to our low lunge, planting our left hand beside our right foot. We'll start to pick up our left ankle, reach the toes towards the sky. And again, we can stay here with both hands down, using our strength to draw the heel in closer to the body. Or we can pick up our right hand, capture that left foot, open through the chest, and we'll start to pull the foot in closer towards the body. And then we'll start to press the foot back into our right hand. Maybe even sending the hips a little further forward, opening the chest a little more towards our right side. We'll start to let go of our left foot, drop it down. Shift back to our half splits again. Inhale to lengthen, lifting up slightly, press back through the hips. And with our exhale, we'll soften towards our right leg. We'll stay low again as we shift forward, replanting our left hand beside our right foot. With a big breath in, we'll reach our right hand up for a gentle twist. Exhale to circle that right hand around to the inside of our right leg. Now lizard pose on this side. Again, we have options to walk that right foot out further, up further, to roll to the pinky side edge of the foot. Whatever's feeling right. Sending the hips forward, lifting the chest slightly. Now we'll bring the knee back in so we can plant our right foot down. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left leg. We can again find some forward and back shifting motions. To pop us forward, we'll squat down into our Malasana squat. Lift the chest. Press the elbows into the knees. And take a few deep breaths here. We'll drop the hands down in front of the body to lift the hips up towards the sky, heel toe the feet underneath of the hips to a comfortable distance. Inhale for our halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. We'll reach us back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll move our weight into our right foot so we can pick up our left knee. And we'll reach that knee nice and tall towards the sky. Flexing through the bottom of our right foot so the toes reach forward, knee is drawing up. Now we'll start to hinge from the waist, press back through our left heel. We'll lengthen the leg towards straight. As we start to hinge a little further, drop those left toes down. Inhale, arms come up, crescent lunge. We'll bring hands to heart center. And now with our back leg, we want to kind of bend more into the knee. So we're pulling the heel in closer to the body. Hips are still forward. And what we're going to do from here is find a few lunges. So with our exhale, we'll lower down towards the mat, either to drop our left knee or to hover it over the mat. Inhale to lift us back up. We'll do 2 more. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift up. 1 more time. Lift back up. If you do that hover, it's kind of spicy. We'll reach the arms up towards the sky. Bring them to heart center. Shift a little further forward. We'll pop our left leg up. Bend at the knee. Press knee through. Reach it to the sky. And then we'll set it down. Wiggle out. Reset. With a big breath in, we'll send the arms up. Exhale to sweep the arms out and down, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. Back up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll move our weight into our left, pick up the right. We're reaching tall with that right knee, flexing through the right foot. Now we'll start to hinge, press back through the right heel. Extend the right leg towards straight. Bend further into the left. As we drop our right toes down, inhale, arms up. Crescent lunge on this side. Adding more of a bend into our right knee. With our exhale, we'll lower down. Hover or drop the knee. Inhale to lift up. 2 more like that. Hands come to heart center. We'll shift forward a little more to pick up our right leg. We'll bend the knee, press the knee through towards the top of the mat, lift it up towards the sky. And we'll set it down. And again, we'll wiggle out. With an in-breath, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift, strong and stable. Engage the core, draw the knees up. Exhale to fold, plant the hands, step, hop, or float back. Plank pose. Chaturanga. To our up dog or our cobra. Engage through the core. Pull the belly button in and up as we send the hips back. Pedal it out. We'll take the knees out wider as we drop them down to the mat so they're out towards the outer edges. We'll bring the big toes into point or touch. We'll slide our right hand underneath of the chest. With a big breath in, we'll send the left hand up. And with our exhale, we'll thread that left hand as far to the right side as we can before we bring the shoulder and side of face down. We'll press into the right hand. Give us the space to unthread the left, reach the left hand up. And we'll drop the left hand down under the chest. Full in and out breath cycle to reset. And with our next in-breath, we'll send the right arm up. Exhale to thread it through our left side. Bring the shoulder and side of face down. We'll press into the left, unthread the right, reach the right up, and bring the left down. We'll bring the knees in closer together or into touch as we rock back to sit on the heels, lifting tall through the top of the head. We'll take a few deep breaths here. And drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears. And then we'll sit up tall on our knees. Now, it is, from what I have found, really up to personal preference, whether you want the tops of your feet down or if you want your toes tucked under. But for the next little bit, we want to be stiff as a board from the knees all the way up through the top of the head. We'll tuck the hips forward slightly, and we want to lock everything in place, including our core. Squeeze it in, wrap around, and we're going to shift a little further back. Now we're only going as far back as we can pull us back up. And we'll do that a few times. Drawing back, pulling up. See, this is where it's so important to be nice and stiff and strong because we don't want to go into a back bend here because that'll put a lot of pressure on the low back. We want to be strong. We're using our quads and our hip flexors to pull us back up, even a little bit of the glutes there. Maybe finding a little squeeze as we draw us back up. All right, good. Put a hinge to the waist. Drop the hips down towards the heels. Take a moment to wiggle out and reset. Now we're still working with our quads. Slightly different movement. We will be adding that hinge into our waist. But inhale, we'll sit up. Squeeze the glutes, press the hips forward. And then we'll drop the hips back down. So we're sitting up tall. And then squatting back down. Moving back and forth at your own pace. And we'll sit back down. Now for this next move, a little bit of mobility. It might be helpful to move closer to a wall on our right side for stability, something to hold on to. Go ahead and take some time to resituate if you want to move. And then when you're ready, we'll sit up tall on our knees. Move slightly to our right so we can pick up our left leg. Reach it out towards our side in almost a fire hydrant movement. And then we'll circle it around towards the top of our mat. Drop the heel down, send the hips forward, low lunge. Draw the hips back. Pick up our left leg. We'll circle it out and around and set it down. We'll do that 2 more times on this side. Shift over, pick up the left leg, circle it out and around, drop the heel. Hips go forward, low lunge. Pull back. Lift the left leg, circle it in and around, and set it down. 1 more time. Good. We'll drop the hips back, sit down on the legs again. Take a moment to reset. If you liked having the wall beside you, you can scooch around so the wall is now on your left side. And then we'll do 3 of them on this side. Sitting up tall, moving slightly towards the left to pick up the right leg. Circle it out and around, drop the heel down, press the hips forward, low lunge. Shift back, pick up the right foot, circle it out and around, set it down, squat back. We'll do 2 more. Trying to move slowly, with control. And then after our 3, we'll come back to sit on the legs again. From here, we'll move to a child's pose. So we can keep the legs together and soften the chest towards the thighs, or we can take the knees a little further apart. Soften the chest between the legs. Bring the chest towards the floor and drop either the forehead or the top of the head down, rolling through the spine. With our in-breath, we'll start to walk the hands back into the body. And we're going to make our way around so we're seated on the mat. We can either walk our hands and feet in opposite directions or cross the ankles and roll back over our legs. We'll extend the legs long as we scooch towards the center of our mat. We'll give the legs a little bit of a bouncing out. And then we'll reach the toes up towards the sky. We want to find the engagement all the way up our legs like we have been doing in our half lift by drawing the knees in. Your heels may lift off the mat, they may not, and either is fine and is just a part of your anatomy. We'll sit up nice and tall. We're almost pressing forward, so we're starting to feel the fronts of our hips, our hip flexors. And then we can send the arms up towards the sky or to the shoulders. We're still getting that same lift, but if your shoulders are not warmed up yet, you do not have to take them all the way up. We're drawing the pinky fingers in together, or if our hands are on our shoulders. We're almost drawing the back side of our arms, our triceps forward. So we're getting a little bit of a lift. We're engaging the triceps as well as the biceps as we sit up tall. And we'll just stay like this for a little bit. At the end of each exhale, recheck that posture. Sit up a little bit taller. Take the eyes forward. Reach up through the top of the head and maybe through the hands. With an exhale, we'll circle the hands down and around, plant them behind the body. Fingertips point to the back of the mat. We can start to walk them a little further away from the body. And we'll find a chest opener here. With our next inhale, we'll lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades in together at the spine. We can send the eyes up to where the ceiling and wall meet in front of us. Press the chest forward. We'll take a few deep breaths here. With our next exhale, we'll curl the shoulders forward, soften the spine, so that we can walk the hands in a little bit closer. Now, we may want the hands to stay behind us to help us with the next little bit of mobility. Or maybe we can go without the hands, but try both. See what's more comfortable. We'll reach our toes up towards the sky. Now we're going to pick up our left leg. Reach it out towards the left side of our mat. Pick it up through center and bring it back down. Go back and forth a few times on this left leg. Again, if you can go no hands, go no hands. If the hands back there are helpful, then keep them down. Pick the foot up as high as you can as you rainbow it in and out. And we'll do one more on this side. And bring it back in. Give the legs a bouncing out. Reset. And then we'll do the other side. Again, we can keep the hands down behind the body, or we can lift the hands up. Sit up tall. Reach the toes towards the sky. We'll pick up our right leg. Take it out towards the right side of our mat. Pick it up. Bring it back in. We'll move back and forth like this. Picking it up as high as we can as we rainbow it back and forth. Really feeling those quads and the hip flexors. And I'll do one more on this side. Bring it back in and bounce everything out. Now, sitting up nice and tall through the spine, we'll start to reach back so that our head is reaching at a 45-degree angle away, maybe. We'll start to lift the legs. And then we can bend the knees and come into our boat pose, or we can keep the legs long if you still have some strength in your hip flexors and quads today. Keeping the spine long, reach back with the top of the head long through the front of the neck. Maybe we'll reach out a little further. Maybe we'll extend out a little further. And a little further. Before we lower the rest of the way down for a full body stretch. Reach with the fingers, point with the toes. And we'll circle the arms down towards the body as we bring the feet in and then out towards the outer edges of our mat. Make sure that low back is down to the earth. If it's not, pick up the hips, tuck them forward, and set that low back down. Now, since we did so much with the hip flexors, we're gonna let them soften with some windshield wipers. Taking both knees in the same direction, picking them up through center and taking them to the other. Moving at your own pace. We'll bring both knees back up towards the ceiling and recheck that low back. Make sure you're down flat to the earth. We'll pick up our legs and bring the knees to a 90-degree angle. Now I'll do just a little bit more core to finish out our practice before we move to our Savasana. Bringing our hands to our thighs just below our knees. We're going to press into our knees, press our knees back into our hands. Now you can press a lot, or you can press a little, depending on how much more you want to get out of this practice. But this is almost the end. You've been doing so good. Everything has been building up to our corpse pose, our relaxation. So we're getting out any extra energy, any extra wigglies that we might have before we can be still and present in our bodies. We'll release the hands, release the legs, come back down. And we can start moving to our Savasana. Finding a comfortable place to be, to rest, to be still, to let the world fade away. Maybe closing your eyes, or your vision to be a little fuzzy, a little soft. Maybe we'll drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears. Maybe let the feet fall away from each other. Let the hips be heavy towards the earth. Noticing if there's any micro adjustments that you need to be just a little bit more comfortable here in this pose. We'll bring a large breath in through the nose and let it go as a sigh. I invite you to a little bit of a pranayama breath work break, breath work practice. This is a 4-part breath where we'll be breathing in, pausing, holding, breathing out, pausing or holding, and then starting fresh with a new breath in. I'll be counting, and I'll count for a few rounds. And if you like the practice, you can continue to count in your mind, or at that time, you can let go of that breath work and move on to a practice of your own, or allow your breath to move back to a more natural rhythm for you. So if you would like to join me in this practice, we'll let a big breath out, fully release our air. And then we'll be breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. You can continue on your own, or allow your breath to move back to that natural rhythm. invite another big breath in through the nose. And let it go as a sigh. Starting to move back into our bodies. We can wiggle the fingers. We can wiggle the toes. And start to find a little bit bigger of movements. And then when you are feeling ready, go ahead and roll to one side or the other. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.